welcome friends to episode 4 of Cross Canada Journals. Happy you're with us here for another episode. This week I left Toronto and made my way up to Ottawa. Ottawa was the furthest point on my journey in the fall of 2020, and I met up with a friend of mine, Chris Page. Now, Chris is someone that I met back in, 2012, 2013. I was doing a podcast called Satan's Cabaret, and he was traveling through Vancouver at the time, and he came by, and I did an interview with him for that show at that time. Since then, we've kept in touch. I like following what he's doing. I think Chris is an excellent songwriter, great singer, musician, performer. I just enjoy his company. When we shot this video, I ended up cutting it down quite a bit. We both are kind of geeks, and we, admittedly so. We talked about filming things and recording stuff. Now, during this time, it was interesting to talk to Chris because, he's really embrace the idea of making isolation videos, reworking a lot of different things. Like he actually had reworked a record, Decide to Stay and Swim. It's all just him reworking a record that he made about 2004 acoustically, and it's great. I love it. We talk about that record during this performance or during this interview. And he gave me one of the 100 copies that he made. I'm honored to have it. I've been listening to it. I love it. It's fantastic. So I hope you can check it out. We talk about all sorts of other stuff, but regardless, it was great to catch up with Chris. So here's that interview. And of course, he's going to play a couple songs after, and they're great. So stay tuned for that. Talk to you soon. So what have you been doing during this time? Have you been able to be creative, or what did you find yourself doing musically, sort of thing? I've been able to be creative in that I've had more time to explore recording, playing with video, uploading video. I have never uploaded this much video before, and I'm enjoying it. And so it's this discovery time. I wouldn't say necessarily that I've written a lot. I have written some stuff, but I have such a backlog of stuff that I've been tinkering with that and starting to record it on a regular basis and upload stuff. So I love it. It's been creative for me because I'm stuck and I'm forced to focus almost. Yeah. I'm forced to focus on what I love to do. So I feel very fortunate. I know a lot of, it's been really rough for a lot of people losing their jobs and all this stuff. I have a good job that I still have. And I've been able to, like I said, focus on what I love to do. Whereas before, it's there's a show, I have to go to a show. I'm not going to record music tonight because I got to go to a show. So now I'm forced to be at home doing the stuff I love to do. So like I said, this whole stretch has been really good for me. I know we'll see how it goes through the winter. I might start to go a little stir crazy, but creatively, it's been fun. And I did my first live stream last week at my friend's brewery from the parking lot because he launched this beer, and it was good because I didn't really know what I was doing. I see a lot of my friends doing it, and I wasn't ready to do it yet. Yeah, I haven't done that yet either. I'm working up to it. I think this winter I'm going to try and do a couple, but it's a thing. How did it go for you?
It went really well, and there was obviously some learnings there. We did Facebook on a laptop, and I did Instagram on my phone. Instagram looked great. For some reason, Facebook looked terrible. And I think it's the laptop. It was a brand new laptop. Right. So maybe it's just the camera and the laptop. I'm not sure. But so then we're like, okay, next time we'll do this. We'll use 2 phones or whatever. So it's just a learning process. But it went really well. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit different in that there were some people sitting around, social distancing on the patio. Yeah. So it's sort of like a little show. But I was really pleased with the results. And I think it's something that I want to explore doing in the future.
I've watched a few of your videos that you've put up, and they're great. I'm assuming they're ones that you've done. There's one you're, I think, playing the Gretsch out at the cabin,
on the deck, yeah.
And it sounded great. Obviously because it's nice and quiet out there.
Yeah, for sure. The birds and the bugs a little bit, but that was good. What I did is I set up an amp at the far end of the deck. Yeah. Where I was sitting, and I had my phone just in the middle. Yeah. And I got it so the frame looked pretty good, but then I was checking the sound. Yeah.
and it picked it up fairly well. Like I thought it was quite
I thought
good.
it sounded really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been impressed. Like some people do take that time and care. Like I don't like. There's all these different contraptions you can add to a phone or a camera and stuff like that. But
That's right.
to be honest with you, like the mics in them sound good if you can kind of make it work. You almost have to think about it as, old 50s one mic in a room recording studio, and
for sure
you can make that work.
But you're right. It takes a little bit of time and care, but yeah, and that's fun.
Well, tell me a little bit about this. So this new record that you have that you just gave me with vinyl, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
So was this a reworking of an older piece?
Yeah.
So why? What was this like? During this time, you felt like reworking it, or what,
no?
How did it all come together?
This started to come together 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. It was completely accidental. I forget if it was December 2017 or something. I listened to this Decide to Stay and Swim, which was the original record that came in 2004, I think. I hadn't heard it in years. Like I don't necessarily go back and listen to my stuff once it's out there. And I just sat down and listened to it, and I was really interested by, like, my brain was going back to how I wrote it. I recorded it with Dave Draves here in Ottawa, anytime I've worked with him, he takes my ideas and puts his own in, mixes them up, and just creates all these new melodies. And and I listened to it, and I'm like, this is such a beautiful record. Came out in 2004, dead in the water, right? Because it was before Spotify or any
right
stuff.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start revisiting a couple of these songs just acoustically and upload them to Spotify and Bandcamp and stuff. That was my idea.
Sure.
Just I love doing home recording and stuff, and so I started dabbling with those songs. So I was putting out one a month, one every 2 months type of thing, and I think I got to song 6 or 7, just a little side project to keep me entertained recording, right? I started to realize, I'm like, wow, these songs really hang together beautifully. Like it was just coming together, and it felt like, I thought, this is the record I always wanted to make. I always wanted to make a record that was just acoustic, really sparse, and just completely chill. And I almost got that with volume versus voice, but I think I started, you start to put instrumentation in, and you're like, oh man, I just want to layer this on. I just want to layer this on. So with this project, there's one song, the third song, I put some little bit of percussion in and stuff, and drums, but
just bare, strip it down.
Really stripped down and really laid back,
Well, you're a great songwriter. That's really cool to engage in it that way,
It was such a fun experiment, and I got so much joy out of it. And when I hit, like I said, song 7 or whatever it is, I'm like, I'm going to put this out on vinyl, I think. And I just did 100 copies, kept a really short run, and it just, as it came together, I'm like, this is amazing. And my goal was to really do it all on my own too. I did everything myself, mixed. I don't love mixing because I find it's really difficult. I think especially when you're mixing your own stuff, because you just get inside your head, and I find it hard. But I wanted to see it through. Yeah. So, and then I mastered it myself, the whole thing. And when we did the covers special as well, because my a really good friend who's a young photographer in Halifax. I've known her since she was a little kid, and I was like, she went to school there, and I said, I want you to do the cover. So whatever you want, it's your canvas. I commissioned her to do it, and she was like, but what theme? And I'm like, nope, anything you want. So it's only on the vinyl. The online version is similar to the original record, but that's her photography, which is cool. And then on the back, I used the original album in 2004 has me with like a cartoon alien, and that actual photo, the real photo without the alien, is on the back. Okay. So it's kind of like it harkens back to the original
homage to it.
Yeah. So yeah, fun.
So that's really, so you actually just like reworked every song, and then just like, did you find when you did that, like, you wanted to keep the same order, or or did it change a little bit? Like, did the sequencing change, or the feeling? Like, obviously maybe the feeling of the album changed, but did it the completion of the piece sort of that hung together as well?
It felt so different from the original. I just kept the song order the same, and it feels like a completely different thing.
Wow.
Like it's not even close to what the original thing was. Just same lyrics, same songs, but completely different. I think. Yeah.
That's a fun.
It was really
project.
rewarding for me and a little bit self-indulgent maybe, but I thought, you know what, this is great, and I'm just gonna do it for myself. And you know, in the meantime, I'm working on new material all the time, so it was kind of a nice distraction to get something out while I'm finessing whatever new stuff I have coming down the pipe.
You've kept the same. So the album name, the album is the same. Just decide to stay in the swim again.
Again, yeah. Let's see again, heart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to check this out. This is super exciting.
I'm very happy with it, and the folks who have, you know, I mean, it was unfortunate. The COVID angle of this was I started the pre-order last November with the intention of, you know, I think putting it out, starting to send them out to folks in February, which I started to do. So I sold a whole bunch of them in that time frame.
Right.
And then we were going to do, my friend Susan Odell and John Higney were going to play with me at a place in town here called Sinkhole, which didn't survive the pandemic, which is unfortunate, but we were going to do it April 2nd. And of course, everything went down, and we were like, okay, well, we're not going to be able to do the show. So I put the show on hold, and I put the release on hold, because I'm like, okay, well, let's see where this all goes. Because
a
at the
lot of
time,
people do this,
we didn't know what to do, right? But then I realized, okay, you know, midsummer, I'm like, hey, we're in for the long haul. Like, this isn't going away anytime soon. So I just picked September 30th, and I just said, okay, today's the day, and went out on the platforms. And, you know, luckily my friends at Spark Beer here in Ottawa wanted to do a beer to coincide with the album, which was really nice of them. So we did that about, you know, like I said, it was last Friday, so a couple of weeks after the release.
And so I'm drinking that one?
Yeah.
Or are they both the same?
They're the same, yeah.
So this is just decide to stay and swim again. Well, let's just decide to stay and swim.
Yeah, because it, again, didn't fit on the label. But it's a hazy pale ale, and it's made with Ontario barley malt. Let's see if I can get this right. Amarillo and Azacca, I believe, hops. Anyway,
it's great.
They're better at this stuff than I am.
I like a hazy pale ale. Okay.
It's really nice. It's so drinkable. 5.5, which is good as well. So yeah, I love it.
So for you, I mean, obviously it seems like you've dealt really well. You've sort of engaged in these projects, and you said you were writing as well.
Yeah.
Like you keep continuing to write new stuff. I mean, do you see yourself compiling that and then making a record of new stuff in the future? Or?
Yeah, for sure. Like where I'm at now, when I was doing this project, decided to stay and swim again, I was writing material for a new solo record, like an acoustic record.
Yeah.
So that's finished. Like I would say 80% recorded as well. So that's my next step, is I'm going to work on that and get that done. And then, I mean, the stuff I'm writing now, I don't know, we'll see that. I don't know when that'll see the light of day type of thing.
Right.
But, you know, I had the Expandifuzz project going too, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
Right, so this is like, I've heard that it's just like a more of a rock and roll three-piece sort of thing, right?
Yeah, it's a duo actually, and I play bass in it,
right.
And we have with a drum machine.
Right, drum machine, sorry.
And it's amazing, and we did 2 records, and it was really well received. That my partner DDT, she goes by different names in Expandifuzz, but she plays guitar, and it's not her first love. She just learned how to play guitar for this project.
Right.
So she does it for fun, and she enjoys it, but it's not it's not a full-time thing. It's just a fun thing. So we've talked about doing another one of those Expandifuzz records, which I think we'll probably end up doing this winter as well.
Yeah.
So that's, lots of projects, lots of ideas.
Yeah.
On the horizon, so we'll see.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, where should people go and get their new record? Like, this current record you just put out at the end of September. Like, where is it? Everywhere? Is that sort of thing, or what's?
No, because I only did like online for sure. You could get it on Bandcamp, obviously, my Bandcamp site, or my website, Chris Page Music. Get it through there. I didn't put it in stores because I just didn't make that many, and I did the pre-order to help pay for it, and people really stepped up, and I sold a whole pile. So
that's
great.
It
was awesome. Like I only have maybe 20 left or something.
Right.
So
I'm honored that I have one of the 100. That's amazing.
It's cool, and they're all numbered too, which is nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they make it
records.
special, and So it's fun. So we'll probably,
And it's nice to just sell out and move on. You know what I mean?
Are you? I'm just curious. Like, are you when you're selling the new record? Do you get the old one at the same time so people can have that experience?
I hadn't really thought about that because I haven't really played live since it came out.
Right.
You know, but yeah, no, it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, I have a handful of friends, especially here in Ottawa, who knew that first record really well.
Right.
So they were pretty excited to hear this.
That's cool.
This version. So that was pretty cool.
Well, I always recommend people go to the Bandcamp page because it goes directly to your pocket as opposed to going to Spotify or Apple Music and
Oh,
something.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
like I said, I think in every single one of these conversations I'm having, like, Bandcamp's kind of the Patreon of for musicians, and you can pay more than what's the suggested price is.
Yeah, Bandcamp is really great. It's really, really great.
Yeah, it's especially in these times. I think it's been quite helpful to some people. So that's awesome.
It's interesting. Like I'm not a Spotify hater at all.
No.
Like I know a lot of artists are down on it, but the way I look at it is it's like a conduit that brings you into the Bandcamps, right? And because that's the way I use Spotify. Like if I discover something or I hear something, it's like, what's that? I'll immediately go see if there's vinyl or, I mean, maybe I'm not the norm, but
you're a music fan, and there are other music fans out there, and I think that is important, because you're right. Like, I've released a couple singles this year, which I haven't really done for a long time, and I would have people call me like, "Oh, well, can I get it on Apple Music? Is it available on Spotify?" I was like, "Oh, I guess I really should do that," because I had only had them on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I mean, I think of Spotify or Apple Music or whatever, all those platforms is sort of like a landing pad for people, because I don't necessarily consume music like that, but a lot of people do.
For sure they do.
So it's like, if you want to be heard, or if you want to even just like think of it as very inexpensive advertising to get people to go where it is, that's kind of how I think of it.
And if people like your music and follow you on Spotify,
they're gonna
like at the very least they're going to be following what you do, and they're a fan of your stuff. And then maybe they'll come see you play live.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll buy a T-shirt. Maybe they'll, and I think it's important to cater to those people, because if you have like a little pool of people on Spotify, a little pool on Google, whatever it's called, Apple Music, all the different platforms, and then Bandcamp, that's a pretty good audience listening to your stuff, right? So
it's interesting. I found that with this time that I've had on my hands as well, like during lockdown and not being able to go out and stuff like that, I've sort of dived into that to like try to understand it a little and sort of follow it a little bit when I would do something.
Yeah.
Because before, when I just wouldn't have time, you just sort of like randomly put things out, and then you're like, oh, whatever, you kind of forget about it. But kind of just following through on those things, it's actually been really interesting. And I'm learning lots, and I find it fascinating. Like it is kind of a neat process. So
it is, and I think you and I lived through like the no internet years.
Sending cassettes to bookshelves. Phoning someone on a landline. Hoping the bar is open. Someone's there at 11 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. That was hard work.
Yeah. Booking a tour.
Right? So, whatever. Sure, Spotify's evil. I get it. But I'm going to use it. To my advantage if I can. Why not?
Awesome. Well, man, it's nice to chat with you. That's awesome.
It's great chatting with you again, man. For sure.
I recommend people buy the last 20 copies of this record, because I'm sure it's fantastic. I can't wait to check it out. And it comes with
I put that in.
It doesn't come with that, but I'm super excited about that. Go get it on Bandcamp. I'm going to put a link below at the end of this, which is awesome. And going to play some tunes.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man.
It's great chatting with you again.
Yeah, you too, man.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. Thank you.
Hold on, I think this song is ending. So will you drive me home the next 10 years? And I'll wait
as we lay down in traffic for the sounds with the meanings insincere. For your thoughts with astrologics, to be sure of the paintings on the moon, and the smell of your hair these last 3 minutes spent our eternity too soon. All that is gone, I've shut out and made way for blonde streaks, and I'm saved by the drones of the distant kids hanging on an evening breeze. It seems like we'll get along, as your breath settles on my tongue. And the ghosts from the shoreline hum. Their dead weight song. Carve the way back home and light the harvest fields with the moon that straddles your dim cheeks. If you're a lost love now, and safety worked in crowds, damage ever haunting me, it seemed like we'd get along,
as your breath settled on my tongue. And the ghosts from the shoreline hummed. Their dead weight song.
Well, that's it for episode 4, friends. Thanks for being here again. Thanks for Chris for finding time to meet up with me when I was traveling around. Like I said, Ottawa was the furthest point, so after that we start heading back to Vancouver. More episodes to come. Click the links below. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. And also you can find links to Chris's stuff and Chris's work that he's doing. You know, go to his Facebook page. He's putting up videos all the time and they're really great. So again, thank you for being here. We'll see you next month. Take care.